Hello and welcome to a brand new episode. Today we are going to look at a Raffine budget build. I think people kind of enjoyed the budget build, so I thought I'd give this one a go from New Capenna. It's a pretty simple ability. It's got Flying Ward 1 and a 1/4 body. Whenever you attack a target attacking creature, connives X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. So there's a lot of ways to build the deck. So let's see what I've gone for. So because it's a budget build, all of the lands, you can rest assured, are all common and uncommon. Command Tower is basically a rare, but it's a common, so you can put that in any deck, no worries. So of the rares I've put in, being very particular about this. So Esper Sentinel is just really good in this build because you kind of need it to draw cards, and the more counters you put on this, the easier it is to be drawing cards as well, because it makes your opponent have to pay more. Swords to Plowshares, because it is literally the best removal spell for creatures in the entire format. We've got Spirit Sister's Call, which is a relatively nuanced card. I've built the deck in a way to fill the graveyard very quick, so when you're doing that, what you can then do is start swapping permanents in your graveyard with creatures in play. So you want to do that over and over again with Spirit Sister's Call. We have a few huge payoffs at the end with Massacre Worm comes in, gives you creatures -2. Elish Norn does a very similar thing, and Toxrill. So if you've noticed, I've gone for a theme of board wipes here, because if the opponent's gumming up the board, the best way to get rid of it is to go for obviously creatures with built-in board wipes. And we've also got a Godfarer's Gift, which at the beginning of your combat on your turn, you can exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, you create a token of that card, except it's a 4/4 zombie, and this is normally 7 mana. However, if you combo this with the Gate to the Afterlife, you can get it out a lot sooner, as long as your graveyard is filled with enough creatures. You can basically sack this and search anywhere for the Godfarer's Gift, including the graveyard. So it's very powerful and a really nice way to finish off your opponent. A lot of the cards in the deck utilise, I think, one of 3 different abilities that Magic's made. So you've got stuff like Disturb, which is relatively new, which lets you cast this card from your graveyard for its Disturb cost, and normally becomes a different card type or a different effect. You've also got Jumpstart, which lets you cast a spell from your graveyard by discarding a card. And you've also got, Flashback. So when you're searching for cards to put in a graveyard build, be wary, it's not just going to be one keyword. There's normally quite a few different keywords that synergize with cards being able to cast from your graveyard. And one final thing I would say, if you're going to make a deck like this, put Ruthless Sniper in, because whenever you just cycle or discard a card, you can pay 1 to give a creature -1/-1. That's really, really important to put in the deck. You've also got Faith of Devoted. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you can pay 1, and if you do for each instance, you can drain for 2. Very important. And actually, I'll throw one more in, which is Archfiend of Ifnir. Whenever you cycle or discard another card, put a -1 counter on each creature your opponents control. I would say this one is a key one to put in the deck as well, if you've only got a few mythics and rare wildcards. But yeah, if you want to see exactly what's in the deck, the description will be, well, the link will be in the description below. Don't forget to like, share, sub the video if you appreciate what I'm doing here. And if you want to see more budget builds, just tell me in the comments below. And yeah, let's get into some gameplay. So a cool thing about using a budget build is sometimes you come across decks you wouldn't normally, just because of the lower power weighting of the cards in your deck. So if you don't know what I mean by that, every card that you put into your deck has a hidden value to it. So let's say value between 0 and 10. So an island might be 0 and a Valorous Stance might be 2. So the higher the number value of your deck total, essentially, the higher the number value of your opponent's deck. Obviously these are hidden statistics, so you're not going to see them, but yeah, so be wary. Essentially, the stronger the cards are in your deck, the stronger the cards will be in your opponent's deck. So that's quite important to know, because no one really told me this when I started. It's just kind of figuring it out over time and learning. So what are they trying to do early on? Well, it's going to be a zombie tribal deck. They can mill cards, drain us, give us minus abilities. That's really powerful, Planeswalker. Not sure if we are going to be able to deal with it that well. We could make them sack something, but I don't feel like it's the right time. They're just going to sack the zombie army, aren't they? So I think let's go for Raffine. And we can do something weird. We can attack with the Beloved Beggar, which is a bit odd. Oh, we got an Archfiend. I think we'll get rid of the Brine Coma, only because we can cast this from the graveyard for 2 mana. So yeah, you'll see there's a lot of things in the deck that can be cast in the graveyard, so as long as you've built enough redundancy in, discarding doesn't really matter. Discarding actually just enhances the cards in your hand. So what have we got here? Nothing too threatening yet. So I think we'll probably go for a tap land here. And then we can attack the two things. Let's see what they do. Yeah, we'll put the counters on here to make it a bit trickier to block. Discard 2 cards. We'll get rid of this one because it comes in tapped. And I think we've got enough blue sources there. Although they could choose to... Yeah, that's the thing. If you only discard lands, then the creatures actually don't get any power up, do they? So maybe that was a mistake, to be honest. Attacking with all of them. Okay. So we'll at least kill the 2-1. Yeah, that's fine. At least we traded something. Yeah. Probably should have been more cautious there, but... And... Yeah, I suppose because we have the Chainer's Edict... And they have a Planeswalker general. Yeah, okay, we'll discard the Chainer's Edict here. We'll try and go over the top if they go for Liliana. Don't forget that Raffine has Ward 1, so if they go for Liliana, they can't actually target Raffine. Well, they can, but it will be countered, I believe. So one thing about having lots of cards in your graveyard is it kind of muddles the hand a bit. So if you're not aware of how Arena works, your hand is in the left of the screen and your graveyard is in the right. Things get more complicated, of course, as more zones are introduced, like there's an adventure zone as well. Oh, looks like the opponent is also going for graveyard theme. So we want to attack with the Archfiend. We don't have double black. Oh, we don't have any black, in fact. Oh no, hang on a sec. We've got one black. I think that's a real shame. We can't cast the Archfiend. Okay. Okay, sure. So we'll swing both of them at Liliana. And yeah, we'll connive on the Tomebound Lip just because it's got lifelink. And yeah, we'll get rid of the stance and I think a land here. Let's see if they decide to block. It does have Death Touch.
I dare you.
Goes down to 2. Create a spirit. That could be useful because it then means that we get another creature that we can help trigger connive. Yeah, and I'm happy to pass the turn here. We would like to have an extra swamp eventually, but yeah, this is the danger of recording at night time when I'm really tired. So, oh, they're gonna exile our graveyard. That sucks. That's really unfortunate there. We lost a couple of cards. And a Puppet Razor. Beginning of your end step, exile 1 creature card from your graveyard. If you do, seek a creature card with mana value equal to that. Wow. That's really, really good. It's very tempting to kill that. I think we're going to kill that here with the Mortify. Yeah, we don't want them gaining just
Don't get squeamish on me.
incidental advantage. So draw 3, discard 3 is going to be pretty decent. The only thing with this ability I've noticed is it never just gives you value. It's only filtration. So, okay, so still no swamp. Target attacking creature. So we can't even put it on the Twin Blade Geist. So let's go that there, and then these two at the Liliana. And then I'm happy to put some counters on the 1/1. Discard 1, 2, and yeah, we'll discard that as well actually. So we've got the Evolving Wilds for the black sauce, which is going to be useful.
You are not worth my time.
And we've even got the unburial rights in case they kill the Raffine. It might be tempting to. Ooh, duress. Yeah, we'll give it the fatal push, only because they don't have many creatures. And let's see what we're dealing with here. Maybe they've got a board wipe of some kind. No, okay, just creatures. This is a very refreshing build to see. So we'll crack the Evolving Wilds for a swamp. So the next turn, as long as we have the Archfiend of Ifnir in our hands, I think we probably just win the game. And any creatures in the yard we want to resurrect? No, so for now let's just give the yeah, we'll give the Spirit double strike because the Tomebound Lich is already a threat, isn't it? So we don't want to make them destroy this either way. Although I would have actually got a Spirit if I enchanted that creature, so that was probably a bad move again. Making many mistakes here. But then, in a way, the Murderous Rider does come down and get rid of that, so it would have meant we lost the Tomebound Lich, so in hindsight maybe it was actually good. So I'm going to exile the Liliana's Devotee here because this gives them blockers. So they could just play the Murderous Rider. Yeah, looks like they do. Okay, so here we go. Going for the Archfiend of Ifnir. So we should be able to torment them with that. So don't forget, whenever we discard a card, they're going to lose a lot of stuff. Well, if they had more, they've only got 2 creatures, but it gives them all -1/-1 counters equal to the amount of cards we discarded. And the Laser Tap Chancellor is amazing as well. Whenever we discard, we can pay 1 to amass 2. Very crazy. And yeah, we'll discard an island, which kills off the Murderous Rider. So the synergy here we have is very nice. They don't have a board wipe, so I think it's probably safe to go for the Sacred Cat from the graveyard, isn't it? So that embalms it, so exiles it. Basically flashback for creatures. Very cool ability. Yeah, it's amazing what you can actually do with just a few rares and mythics. I think in the deck there's about 6 or 7 rares. So it's fairly manageable, especially if you're just starting out in the game. This could be for you. And it's a new Capenna General, so there's the excitement of opening this card in your latest booster packs. Why don't you tell me in the comments below which one of these Mafia Lords is your favourite? And if I haven't made it yet, there is a chance that I could. So so can they do anything? We can just attack with everything, right? They lose their entire army. So we put all the counters on the Lich. They're not going to have any blockers, unfortunately, for them. And then we can just discard 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, they don't have any creatures. I'll keep the Bond of Revival just in case they get to kill the Archfiend. Yeah, feel a bit bad for the opponent here. The Archfiend is pretty mean against Tribal, and yeah, you can see how devastating. just if you have any rare in the deck, I recommend that card. Yeah, moving on to the next game then. Sweet, starting out is not too bad. If you're on the fence, by the way, about trying a budget build, I highly recommend it. I mean, what do you have to lose? Everyone starts at the bottom anyway, without all the rares and mythics. So, by default, you're bound to have lots of commons and uncommons. So yeah, give it a go. And yeah, you know what? It's tempting to go for the Fencing Ace, but I think we'll give another tap land here just to open up our hand a bit more. I was asked in Discord, by the way, join the Discord if you want to talk to lots of like-minded people. It's really fun. I was telling her to give my thoughts on Moon Knight, so this seems like a good time. I thought it began really well. Some good characterization. Oscar Isaac is a fantastic actor. But, so this is going to be a non-spoiler warning. ultimately it kind of it does the Marvel thing, let's just put it that way, and everything kind of goes out the window a little bit, unfortunately. So we could actually exile replicating ring here, but do we do that, or do we? Yeah, let's go for a creature. Yeah, I feel like the final episode of Moon Knight, they kind of just tried to cram way too much in, almost 2 or 3 episodes worth, and you can really tell because everything's rushed and there wasn't really time to explore the themes they had going on. So if I cast Raffine... Okay, we'll go for Raffine. Yeah, missing the land drop's not great. When does this trigger? Whenever she attacks. Okay, so we need a board. We need a way to kill her. Otherwise they're going to be able to abuse the Sushi here. Yeah, no blocks. Luckily there was no Ember Cleave there. Oh, that's really mean. 5 damage to each creature and they get to trigger Sushi. Yeah, but yeah, with the MCU, I feel like their series are really suffering. They've basically gone through this just spamming the field sort of mentality. Everything doesn't really link to anything else, and it just feels like, yeah, a bit strange. And even the films, to some extent, aren't really going anywhere. Like, I saw Doctor Strange 2, which I think was really good. And a lot of... Going into that film, I was not really expecting much, but... Yeah, kind of exceeded my expectations, which is good. Sometimes it's good to go in not expecting anything. Ooh, they've got a Braid and a Fire Prophecy. We don't have any artifacts, do we? So might as well get rid of the Fire Prophecy. What should we do? They don't have any creatures to make copies of. Oh no, they will, won't they? They'll have a... Right, so maybe we'll kill the... Kill the Fable. And go for the... Oh no, let's not do that. That's a bad idea. And maybe we try and find a land here, although they have a Gilded Lotus, but... Okay, so we hit a land. Turns out it's pretty hard to review things and play Magic at the same time. What was I saying? Yeah, I feel like the MCU is kind of very heavily reliant on nostalgia. If you look at the Spider-Man film that recently came out. Oh my goodness, they're going off with Delina. Yeah, I've spoken to some friends about that Spider-Man film, and think about this for a moment. Although it was fun and it was good, take out the surprise, let's say. I'm not going to say what the surprise was if you haven't seen it yet, but take out the surprise elements that you all well know if you've seen it, and ask yourself if it still would be as good as you thought it to be. Because I feel like Marvel are just riding the nostalgia train into the ground, essentially. Somewhat annoyingly, they can make it indestructible again with the Tyrite Sanctum, so we need another way to get rid of that darn Delina. And they've got an Abrade as well. Oh, discarding the Abrade. Okay, so now they don't have the Abrade. But now they have 3 fresh cards, which is kind of scary. They will be discarding one, though. Right. So we definitely need to find an answer for Delina. Okay, we'll get rid of this and an island, I suppose. And then go for Turnbound Lich, I think. Fatal Push. I think Blood for Bones can go away here. There's nothing in the graveyard that's too special, and we also get to revive something with Elders Reborn anyway. So Blood for Bones doesn't look that great here. We've got Death Touch, remember. Oh my god. Burning Sun's Avatar. That's really bad. So we probably just lose here. Because they get at least 1 copy of the Burning Suns. So that's going to be 10 damage plus another 3. Yeah, so we're dead. So basically all it took was a Delina, really. Yeah, nice. Some good synergy they had there, and the Guild of Lotus really helped them push them forward. Okay, so we're seeing all the unusual decks today. Going for Rigo's Streetwise Mentor, which is kind of nice. I was just playing some Bolas earlier because I just, you know, it's my favourite deck. And as soon as I started playing it, what do you get matched against? Bolas. And it's just not fun. I don't mind playing powerful decks, but at least a different one. Come on, I think out of the 5 or 6 games I had, I think I faced Bolas 3 times, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, we definitely want to kill this ninja because, I don't know, it's scary. I mean, it doesn't actually do anything, weirdly enough. Yeah, it enters the battlefield as a copy of an attacking creature. Yeah, weird thing to play on turn 1, I suppose. So we can go for Ramp and the Chaplain of Arms. English is a funny language, isn't it? Arms. Like, if I just said arms, it sounds like the, you know, the appendage. But this is Chaplain of Arms, which is something completely different. Religious connotation, isn't it? I don't actually know what the definition of arms is. If somebody in the comments below, I'm looking at you, Josh. I'm pretty sure you know. Yeah, I've got a friend called Josh. He's pretty savvy with this kind of stuff. It gets kind of confusing though, because obviously I'm called Josh as well. Destroy creature uploaded with mana value 3 or less, and it has a shield counter. That's annoying. Okay. What's better to go for here? Is it better to go for the Raffine first or the Faith of the Devoted first? Ragged Recluse. There's a lot of nice bit of synergy here. I think we go for the Raffine because it's just another creature, right? So if we attack, this becomes 2. They block, then this dies. But it has got First Strike. Nice bit of spice there. Ooh, so if we discard the Ragged Recluse, we could potentially get it back with the Call of the Death Dweller. Oh, okay, yeah, fair. Oh, interesting. So the First Strike hits it, takes off the shield, but because it gives it basically indestructible, right, okay, fair enough. If you are into mistakes, this is the video for you. I've done quite a few today, but there you go. This is the price I pay for recording so late. I'm not going to tell you what time it is because you'll tell me to go to bed. But yes, I hope it makes people feel better in a way because, yeah, everyone makes mistakes, especially me. I mean, I play so many games, so it's bound to happen. They're holding priority and upkeep, so they're looking to do something cheeky. Bouncing it to my hand. I could protect it. Yeah, it's fine. They can return it to my hand. That's cool. It's not too bad. So 2 and 1. Okay, so we've got 5 mana. Now, annoyingly, the way our mana works, we can't double spell this turn, but next turn we can. Our curve is pretty aggressive. That's a 4. So in the graveyard we've got a 1 and a 2. So maybe we do go for the Call of the Death Dweller here. So we get back these 2. And it's actually quite nice because it then sets up the following turn. Death Touch First Strike works really well. And Menace on that one, I suppose. Very good in a low curve deck. It's a little bit like having a Lurrus in your deck. A one-off Lurrus. And obviously Lurrus decks actually use Call of the Death Dweller as well. So if you don't know Lurrus, it's that dog thing that resurrects something every turn. Joel Royale, so whenever they draw a second card each turn, they get a token. So Rigo is looking to attack with power 1 or less. So it's a strange inclusion because Joel makes 2/2s. Fateful Absence, while they're really coming out with the kill spells and bounce spells here. So, okay, they know how Death Touch and First Strike works, which is good for them, I suppose, not for me. an L-Seed. So we've got 6 mana, so now we can double spell. Annoyingly, if we kill the Rego, they can just recast it. Definitely want to go for the planes. 6 mana open. Let's go for the Raffine. And yeah, let's just set up the next turn, Faith of the Devoted. This can be pretty crazy. And leave up the defense. As long as they can't attack us, they won't get any advantage with Rego. They might have some spicy ways to help Jor-El get in, like some unblockable, for instance. Clarion Spirit, okay. And a main phase Fairy Vandal. Interesting. Elish Norn. Well, I think we just win the game. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is why you spend a few wildcards on Mythics, because your opponent's not going to care if you're playing only commons and uncommons, and you've done that before and it won't work. So there we go. Elish Norn for the win. It's allowed. It's only 1 of 5 or 6. So it wouldn't be a budget build video without facing a Sliver deck. This is of course one of the many sins that Arena commits on its players every single day. And quite frankly, I don't really understand how or why this happens. Because as I was saying earlier in the video, the weighting should not be equivalent here. Unless for some reason this is a budget Sliver build, which I find highly unlikely. Just from the fact the first card they play is a rare. So perhaps this is a good time to Infernal Grasp to prevent them going for God knows what Slivers there. Elish Norn may be useful if we can get to 7 mana. We do have 4 lands, so we're not that far off. Sanctum. So it's a Sliver Shrine build? That's kind of confusing. Right, let's get rid of this shrine, because that gives them extra mana, and they could have actually gone for this Sliver then if we hadn't killed that. So interesting. So they're going for the Sliver next turn. Right, let's go for Duress to see what we're working with here. Oh. Wow. So that would kill their guy as well. That gets rid of ours. I think the Honden is the choice. So knowing they have the borrowed time. Well, they can't do... Okay, they can't do both. They can't do borrowed time and the first Sliver, so we'll see what they go for. What a weird deck. This is kind of like the antithesis of a Sliver deck, right? I've never seen something like this before. I guess it cheats the Banishing Light. What are the odds? What are the odds of that? Although it can't target it because of Ward. That's pretty cool. So let's go over the top here. Land. We have a blocker, I suppose. Yeah, we'll go to this. So I suppose the idea here will be to work towards the Elish Norn. I think that might be our only chance. Although they do have a depopulate. I do wonder if they would do that here. Yeah, I think we'll block the 7. It's just, it's quite a huge chunk, to be honest. Keep the archive. Yikes. Okay. So what are they? They get rid of the board wipe. Makes perfect sense to me. Faith of the Devoted. Okay, that's not the worst. So yeah, let's go for the Faith here. And then swing in. So we're going to take a bit of a hit next turn, but... Okay, and... So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, we're going to have to get rid of the gate. And then we can pay to drain. It's pretty good. Right, let's see what they have. Borrowed Time can get rid of the Faith of the Devoted. It can get rid of the Raffine. We shall see. We do know this. If they do use the borrow time here, it does mean that the Elishnorn... Oof. So we're going to take another 7. It's pretty rough. And a 12. Time Warp. Okay, fine. Sliver decks these days are not quite what you think, are they? To be perfectly honest. Okay. Take that to the command zone. And a curse. So they're going to make the Raffine cost 7? And if we do cast it, they'll draw a card. Well, I suppose we can just put up some defensive maneuvers here. We can also block the first Sliver, so we'll see how long we can last. Might not be very long, but the main point here is the Sliver can't get through the Elishnorn. Okay, so they're definitely an enchantment build. Okay. -1 Citizen Champion. So, yeah, I think I'm happy to go for the Raffine. So they will draw a card. We just have to cross our fingers, really, don't we? There's nothing else we can do. Unless they just get a counter spell, that would be pretty bad. Or an answer for Elishnorn would be pretty bad as well. Omen, okay, sure. I guess to increase Citizen Champion and draw, yeah, that's actually a pretty good hit in that case. 5, 6. Yeah, pretty good. So we'll draw a card here. And we shall get rid of, I think, the Vizier. And it's a 5/8. So again, we're going to have to cross our fingers. If we lose the Elishnorn, we might be subject to some damage. That's going to be 7 coming in. And yeah, I don't know. The Faith of Devoted might be useful here, depending on what they have. Elysian Caryatid. Okay, we're still looking good. Oh, it just dies instantly. Wonderful. But it's a 1/1. Yeah, I think that was a bit silly, wasn't it? Right. So now they're in trouble. They really, really are in trouble. Right, so we're going to attack with both. Wonderful. The Vigilance is extremely good. So 5, 6... Yeah, let's just make her even bigger. Make her more formidable. Obviously, if they block, they can recast the first Sliver. But yeah, I mean, that's fine, I suppose. We'll get rid of the... I don't know what to do. Maybe the cat. And Fatal Push doesn't work. Yeah, just get rid of those two, I think. And we will drain them for 4, which is the main reason of the double attack here. Okay, so once again, we're just going to have to cross our fingers and hope they don't have a really amazing board wipe with a Cascade. And what else can we do? We'll keep the Blood for Bones. Actually, we could have probably... I think I missed lethal there. Yeah, I actually missed lethal. We could have gone for the +2 here. Yeah, oh well. The opponent lives another day. If that's the case, we could just go for another blocker. Yeah, apologies for anyone who is in severe pain from watching me misplay, but there you go. That is... You've got to ask yourself the question, what are you watching me for? You're watching me for my voice, my gameplay, my commentary, my film reviews, or are you here to tell me about my mistakes when you yourself perhaps make your own? You must ask yourself that question now and then. People who comment in the comments about my mistakes. Here we go, first Sliver. Bing, bang, boom. It's going to be a board wipe. Oh no, it's a Honden. I think we're fine. I think we win. Beginning of upkeep. It's an upkeep trigger. Unless this card's amazing. How much have they got? 1, 2, 3. Is it enough to save the day? Do we beat? We beat a first Sliver deck. We just beat a first Sliver deck with a budget build, guys. So if that isn't enough to make you want to build this deck, I don't know what is. If you've had fun watching this video, don't forget to leave me a like and a sub, and to check out my Ko-fi donations page where you can donate as little or as much as you want. And check out some more videos to keep watching.